to study in the Netherlands or who are already in the Netherlands. First of all, the content, what am I going to inform you about? Well, first of all, who is Aon? What is the right insurance advice based on laws and regulations? Why is it important to have an insurance when you're coming to study in the Netherlands? The Aon Student Insurance. What happens to your insurance when you have a part-time job or you're going to do an internship? How can you apply for the Aon Student Insurance? How can you pay for it? And how can you claim back the costs you have made? The healthcare system in the Netherlands, a short recap of this presentation, and then last but not least, the questions. About Aon, who is Aon and what do we do? Elisha, Kadra and I are working at the Department International People Mobility that is part of the section Human Capital Specialties of Aon here in the Netherlands in Rotterdam. Aon is an international advisor in risk management and an insurance broker. We have 500 offices worldwide, 60,000 employees, and our global headquarters is in London in the UK. Here in the Netherlands, we have 8 offices, and the headquarters, as I said, is in Rotterdam, where I'm based, and my colleagues Kadra and Elisha. We work for the Department International People Mobility, where the Aon Student Insurance is serviced from by a multilingual, very kind and very effective student services team who can answer all your questions. We have insured over 450,000 students in the last decade, and we are a partner of many universities of applied sciences and research universities here in the Netherlands and internationally. Insurances for students in the Netherlands, understanding legal requirements. As an international student, student in the Netherlands, with regard to insurances, you have to deal with rules and regulations. As an international student, and it doesn't matter from which country you come, you have to take out private health insurance. International students who have a part-time job in the Netherlands or who are going to have a part-time job in the Netherlands must take out the Dutch public health insurance. And that's the insurance we call the basiszorgverzekering. International students doing an internship in the Netherlands may be required to take out the Dutch public health insurance, depending on their nationality and internship conditions. And later in this presentation, I will elaborate on this subject because it's a very important one for you guys to understand. And it's very important for you to have the right insurance. Otherwise, you can be fined. If you, in any case, are not sure what to do or under which scheme you fall, you can always go to the website of the SVB, that is a governmental organization, and fill out their online assessment, and they will assess your situation and give you a final decision on what kind of insurance you need. Dutch public health insurance. When do you need Dutch public health insurance? First of all, if you have a part-time job here in the Netherlands, you are by law required and obligated to take out the Dutch public health insurance. The monthly premium is €108 approximately, depending on where you take out the insurance, but it's between 100 and let's say 120, depending on which insurer you choose from. But that's only when you have a part-time job. So that doesn't matter if you are a European student or you are a non-European student or if you are an EEA student. As soon as you have a job and you are paying taxes and you are paying social securities through your monthly salary, it is mandatory to take out the Dutch public health insurance. Also mandatory, it is to take Dutch public health insurance when you are from an EU or an EEA country or a treaty country, and you are going to earn a salary from your internship, and it doesn't matter how much that is, you are obligated to take out the Dutch basic health insurance or the Dutch public health insurance, as we call it. And if you are from one of the treaty countries, then you need to take out the Dutch public health insurance as well. Students from non-EU or non-EEA countries are only required to have the Dutch public health insurance if they earn the same minimum wage, the Dutch minimum wage, or they earn more than the Dutch minimum wage. But that's not applicable to you guys because this is a webinar specifically for EU and EEA students. And then the last bullet, which is a very important bullet, failure to obtain the required insurance, so the Dutch public health insurance or the Aon Student Insurance, may result in a financial penalty imposed by the Dutch authorities, and the Dutch authorities are the CAK and the SVB. They will send you a letter. They match details from the tax office and from the office that registers people who have a basic healthcare insurance. And if you earn money, you pay taxes and you pay social premium, social securities, then you are registered at the tax office, and they can compare details. And when they see you don't have a Dutch public health insurance, but you do earn money and you do pay taxes, then you are obligated to take out the specific insurance. And not doing that, again, can lead to a fine of 528 euros for the first time. They will send you a second fine and a third fine, and after that they will take out an insurance for you, and that insurance is probably not probably, it's most of the times much more expensive than the 108 euros what you would have paid per month if you had taken it out yourself. So bear that in mind. If you already have the Aon health insurance, or when you come here and you take out the Aon student insurance and you start to work after a couple of months, you can change the insurance in your online portal. You can go to your online portal and click on I've started working. Do I need a Dutch basic health insurance? Click on that. We will ask you some questions and we'll give you advice what to do, and we'll give you some possibilities with health insurance providers to take out an insurance. So that's the part of the Dutch public health insurance, very important to know. So in the Netherlands, we have private insurance for students, international students who come to study here. They can only take out private insurance. Once you start a part-time job, you do need a Dutch public health insurance. And what we recommend then is that you take out a top-up insurance, which I will inform you about in one of the later slides. The European Health Insurance Card. Most of you are, if it's correct, European students or EEA students, and you probably have a European health insurance card, or you're going to apply for it when you come to the Netherlands. Very good. But you have to bear in mind that the European Health Insurance Card in the Netherlands offers you only emergency coverage. The European Health Insurance Card has limitations, important limitations you need to know about. First of all, the coverage depends on your home country. So things that may be covered here in the Netherlands under an insurance may not be covered in your home country under your own insurance. The EHIC card is issued in your home country, so you need to apply for it in your home country. It only gives you a basic coverage. So again, the basic healthcare insurance here in the Netherlands gives you, quite a broad coverage, whereas maybe in your home country, things are not covered, which you then will have to pay for if you get the service from a doctor here in the Netherlands. The EHIC card is not a travel insurance. It only covers, again, basic health insurance and emergency health insurance. So not a travel insurance, no cover for repatriation in case you need to go back home because of an emergency. There's no coverage for lost or stolen belongings, and private healthcare coverage is not covered. We don't have any private healthcare in the Netherlands, but if you think you maybe can get some private healthcare with your EHIC card, be aware that is not covered. If you have an EHIC card and you go to a doctor here, and most of the times the healthcare providers here in the Netherlands will ask you to pay upfront because they otherwise they have the administration to see if they get their money back from your insurance, and in some cases things are not insured in a person's home country. That's why they ask you to pay upfront or after the consult, so you can submit a claim to your own EHIC insurer, or do that in the Netherlands through Zilveren Kruis. That's an insurance company, a healthcare provider here in the Netherlands, who has been appointed by the European Commission to handle claims from EHIC insurers from Europe, people who have an EHIC insurance. And again, as I already tipped, healthcare is not always free. Coverage follows local healthcare rules. So things that are covered in your home country may not be covered here, and the other way around. And again, that can result in the fact that you may have to pay for certain consults. What we offer you as part of the European Health Insurance Card is if you have a European Health Insurance Card, you can take out a top-up coverage with us. And that's a coverage which covers you for emergency assistance, repatriation, the travel you're going to do, the luggage you have, your home content, the things you have in your student room or student dorm, legal assistance, personal liability, very important. I will give you all explanations and examples in the next slide. Accident coverage, emergency dental coverage is part of it. Psychological, physical therapy is part of it, and psychological treatment is a part of the top-up coverage. And if you have a valid EHIC card, you will receive a 55% discount on the premium. And then you are covered for all these things. The only thing you have to do with regard to health coverage is to go to get your reimbursement first from your EHIC provider. And if they don't pay enough, they can, or don't pay the whole amount, you can come to us and submit the claim with us, and we will pay the remaining amount. Why is it important to have health insurance in the Netherlands? Well, Here in the Netherlands, you are responsible for your own expenses, your own liabilities, and without an insurance, you can find yourself in a significant financial hardship, which means that if you are not insured, and you do have a problem that you need to go to a hospital, or you need to see a doctor, or you need to see a physical therapist, or a psychological, or have psychological treatment, then you will have to pay everything out of your own pocket. There is no free insurance from the government side. And the university, in most cases, is not going to pay for you either. That's why they ask us to give you all the information with regard to the insurance. And in many situations, having health insurance is a legal requirement. A part of the financial side of it, it is a legal requirement in most cases. And then just to give you an insight on how the healthcare system, what the costs are of the healthcare system here in the Netherlands, to a specialist consultation, for instance, is approximately 110 euros per 10 minutes, and that's only the consultation. So no x-rays, no blood work, no tests, only seeing and talking to a specialist is approximately 110 euros. X-rays are approximately 80 euros, depending on what kind of x-rays. CT scans, MRI scans, PET scans, starting at approximately 800 euros. Can be less depending on what kind of X-ray or CT scan you need. A hospital stay is approximately 800 euros per night, and that's the bed only. Intensive care unit is approximately 2,500 per day. So imagine not being insured and needing one of these services and having to pay for that yourself. Well, you can imagine that your financial setback can be, quite a bit. Insurance protects you against unforeseen circumstances, and it's not the first thing, of course, you think about when you go abroad, but it's a very important one because it gives you peace of mind. You can go back home, you get emergency travel to your home country. If you accidentally cause an injury to another person or damage their property, you are insured. You don't have to pay that out of your own pocket. And if something gets stolen from you, there's a burglary in your room or in your student dorm, you will be covered for that. Our key message is insurance provides you financial protection, peace of mind, and access to necessary care and assistance when the unexpected events occur. So keep that in mind. The summary of coverage. What does the Aon Student Insurance offers you as coverage? We have 3 packages. For full degree students that are, bachelor students, full-time bachelor students, master students, or PhD students. We have exchange student insurance. So that's for students who are going to come here for a shorter amount of time. For a maximum of 6 months or 9 months. And we have an internship student insurance. That's when you're going to do an internship here in the Netherlands. The only difference within the packages is with the medical expenses. If you are here for a longer period of time, like for instance, like a bachelor, master, or a PhD student, then you have full coverage for medical, including pre-existing conditions. For exchange students and interns, that is also covered, but only the worsening of a pre-existing condition. So if you already have, for instance, high blood pressure, and it worsens here in the Netherlands, then you have full coverage for that. If you need medication for that, you will have to take that with you because you are only here for a shorter period of time. But the main thing is if something happens and it worsens, you are fully covered. And that also is applicable to mental well-being. Mental well-being or psychological consults, as you may call it, is fully covered up until 3,000 euros per insurance year. The medical expenses are all medical expenses, like, going to a doctor, seeing a specialist, prescribed medication, going to a physiotherapist, seeing a psychologist, being admitted in the hospital, needing an operation, all those things are covered, and there is no maximum for that. What we pay is what the prices are. Then there is coverage for dental costs as a relief of pain up until 350 euros for all packages per insurance year. And if you have dental cost in case of an accident, like, maybe you're you're possibly going to ride a bicycle here in the Netherlands as means of transportation. And what we sometimes see is the students had a very nice evening, went out, had a great time, and then they get on their bike and they fall and they break their teeth. Well, then they have coverage for that to renew their teeth or to make it better up until 1,250 euros per insurance year. Then repatriation and emergency assistance is covered. Repatriation is in case you need to go back home because of a life-threatening situation with a family member, or somebody has perished, a family member has perished, then you can go back home and we will pay for those costs. The other way around is also covered. So if there is a life-threatening situation with one of the insured persons here in the Netherlands and family needs to come over, they can do so, and they have coverage up until 7,000 euros. So all the transportation and the accommodation costs will be covered. There's also coverage for private liability. So that is in case you have an accident with another person, or again, I'm going to use the example of riding a bicycle. You ride your bicycle, you accidentally bump into someone, you damage their goods or you damage their clothes, then you are covered for that, and the maximum is 1,250,000 euros. Legal assistance is also part of it. We work together with lawyers who can help you if you have a problem with, for instance, a landlord or a landlady. You pay good money for your apartment or your student room, and the plumbing is not working, or there is something wrong with a window and they don't want to repair that. You come into a legal dispute with them, and then you can contact our claims department and they will assist you in that. Then home content and travel is covered. If you are here for a longer period of time, your home content is covered for against fire, flood, and burglary. And if you are going to travel, your luggage is also covered up until 3,000 euros. And for the home content, it's 6,000 euros. In all cases, if something gets stolen or there is a break-in in your student room, you need to file a police report, because we do need that if we need to reimburse you for your lost or stolen goods. Then there's an accident coverage. If you have an accident, a certain amount will be reimbursed to you. Well, what's the premium of the Aon Student Insurance? For the Aon Full Degree Insurance, the premium is €56.70 per month. And if you have an EHIC card, you receive a discount of 55%, and you will be paying €25.50. So that's a significant discount for those EU and EEA students who come with the European Health Insurance Card. If you are an exchange student, you're going to pay €47.70 again for the whole package, and €21.60 for students who have the European Health Insurance Card. Interns and trainees pay the same amount, €47.70, or with an EHIC card, €21.60. And if you are going to do a search year after your studies here in the Netherlands, then you can also take out the insurance with us, and then you will be paying €68.40 per insurance month. You can only take out a search year coverage with us if you have had at least 6 months of an Aon Student Insurance with us. Otherwise, it's not possible, because the search year insurance is, as we call it, a service product. So it's a service to our existing clients, student clients. Of course, we cover a lot, but it's an insurance, so there's always something that is not covered. What are the exclusions? Damages related to alcohol and drugs use are not covered. If you intentionally damage a goods of somebody or a person, it's not covered. If you commit fraud or you misrepresent facts on an application form, and that can be an application form for a claim you are submitting, or for an application for the insurance. So always be honest, and if there is something, in most situations, we can find a way to insure you. So don't be scared of that, but do not commit fraud or misrepresent some things. Preventive care and over-the-counter medicine is also not covered. And preventive care is that you are, for instance, come here and you want to do a physical checkup without any medical necessity. That is not covered. And over-the-counter medicine is medication that you can buy freely in a drugstore or at a supermarket or at a pharmacy, like, paracetamol or cough syrup or certain painkillers. So those are not covered. And last but not least, damages that occur to you or to another person because of high-risk sports. For instance, survival tracks, bungee jumping, deep sea diving. Normal sea diving is okay, but deep sea diving, things like that are not covered under the insurance. How does the healthcare system work in the Netherlands? That's something that may be different than you guys are used to in your home country. First of all, when you come to the Netherlands, it's important to find a general practitioner. That's a general doctor who will be your first point of contact if something is wrong for non-emergency health situations. You need to register with the GP as soon as you arrive in the Netherlands. Because if something is wrong with you, or you have a problem, a non-emergency problem that you need to visit a doctor for, the GP is always your first point of contact. And if you contact them when something already happened, then you have a problem, because then you're not registered with them. And well, it could be a whole messy thing. So I would recommend and advise you guys to register as soon as you are in the Netherlands. If you have a problem, you contact the GP. You will be speaking to the assistant, and the assistant will, the doctor's assistant will ask you some questions regarding your issue in order to find you a doctor or to inform the doctor on what is going on, and so they are prepared. The GP, once you are going to the GP will assess your situation and will provide treatment or advice. And if he or she thinks it's necessary that you see a specialist, so specialist care is required, they will provide you with a referral, so you can make an appointment with a specialist in a hospital. And you can only make an appointment with a specialist if you have the referral from the GP. If you make an appointment in a hospital and you do receive a positive answer from the hospital, but you do not have a referral, then you will have to pay all the costs yourself, because we only accept, as is normal here in the Netherlands, a referral if specialist care is needed. And last but not least, if you are going to go for appointments, be on time, because it will happen if you are running late. That could happen, but make sure you give them a phone call to say you are running late. But always do that, because if you do not remind them that you are going to be late, or you cannot make the appointment, they will send you the invoice. And then you will have to pay for the invoice, but you cannot get a reimbursement for that invoice if you didn't show up or you didn't remind them of that. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe you already have heard that, but here in the Netherlands, there is a shortage of healthcare providers, and that is because, well, the majority is going to go into retirement now, and not enough younger people are there to take over the practices. So it could be a bit of a search for a GP. But in general, you know, all our students find a GP, and yeah, there are ways to find a GP, you know, in the vicinity of your address, because that is necessary. You need to find one in the vicinity where you live, because if there's something wrong and he or she needs to visit you, they need to. It is important that they are, I think, at least within 25 minutes at your address. How can you find a GP? Well, you can do that through zorgkaart.nl. You can search for GPs there and give them a call. You can ask your university for help, because most universities have cooperations with healthcare providers, GPs, psychologists within their vicinity. Or you can contact Aon for assistance. We have a database of GPs, and maybe we can help you to find someone. With the Aon Student Insurance, you have free choice of healthcare providers. So it's not necessary to go, it's not like that you can only go to one or two healthcare providers. You have free choice of healthcare providers. Again, I remind you, Aon Student Insurance is a private insurance, and we are not connected to the national VECOSO system. That's a national system where everybody who has the Dutch basic healthcare insurance, so the governmental insurance, is registered. So if you are going to see a GP and they say to you, well, we cannot find you in the VECOSO system, explain to them you have a private insurance, and that's why they cannot find you in the VECOSO system. But most of the healthcare providers we work with know the situation of international students and know that they're not in the healthcare, in the national VECOSO system. Online application. Well, how can you apply for the Aon Student Insurance? We do everything online. So once you are on our website, you go to, on our homepage, you go to Get Started and apply online. We recommend you and advise you to apply for the insurance before your arrival in the Netherlands. So if you, for instance, going to fly on the 2nd of August and you will be arriving on the 3rd of August in the Netherlands, we recommend you apply for the insurance with a starting date of the 2nd of August here in the Netherlands. Because then you are insured during the trip as well. And once you set foot on Dutch soil and you trip, for instance, and you break your leg or something happens, then you are insured. So be aware of that. No BSN number is needed, and the BSN is the registration at City Hall. Most of you are going to go to City Hall to get a registration. You do not need that number to apply for the Aon Student Insurance. So you can, if you would like to, you can apply for the insurance today with a starting date of, well, something that's in the future, a future date. If you apply for the insurance, make sure you cover your full study period, because otherwise you may forget to extend it, and then we have another problem. Check your university arrangements, because some universities apply for their insurance, their students themselves, so that you don't have to do anything. Other universities ask their students to take out the insurance on an individual basis. And make sure if you took the insurance out for, let's say, 3 years, about 2 years, and you want to extend it for another 2 years, then you can do that, and we recommend you to extend it before it expires, so that we don't have a problem in elapsing your insurance. Paying your insurance premium, we have flexible options. You can pay monthly, yearly, or everything at once. How to pay? You pay with a credit card, Visa or MasterCard, also monthly. You do it by direct debit. That is, that we we automatically deduct the insurance premium from your bank account here in the Netherlands, or if you have an IBAN bank account that is in another country, that's also possible. We can send you an e-invoice. You can do it by Ideal, or you can do it by bank transfer. And you, again, as I said, it can be done monthly, yearly, or in one time. If you would like to know if you have paid your invoices, you can view them in your online account and check your payment status. A separate confirmation is not sent. Once you have applied for the insurance, you are required to pay your premium. Sometimes students ask us, yeah, I didn't use the insurance. That doesn't matter. You took out the insurance, so you are required to pay the premium. Non-payment of the premium has consequences and may result in the fact that you are registered as a defaulter, and that means that it can be possible that it's not, that it's impossible to obtain an insurance in the future. So make sure you pay your premium. And if it's not possible, just give us a call, because we can always work something out together to find a way to assist you on paying premium. Again, check your university arrangements. If your university arranges your insurance, payment is handled through the university. So check that. And I think most of the students whom the university is applying for do know that. If you're not sure, just give them a call or send them an email. Managing your insurance, we do everything online. So you can, after you have applied for the insurance, you'll receive all the policy documents by email. You will be asked to create an online portal so you can manage your all your personal details yourself online. If your university has arranged the insurance payments and changes are handled through the university. So the online self-service only applies to the students who apply for their insurance themselves on an individual basis. Switching between insurances is easy because you can do that in your own personal portal. And if you have a change of plans, cancel your policy at any time. Go to your online portal or go to the university and they can assist you with that. And if you have already paid upfront, unused premium will be refunded on a pro rata basis. And it's the whole premium, so we don't collect any administration fees or something. How to claim, again, online, you log into your account, you submit your claim, you follow the claims process. If you have a European health insurance card or a Dutch basic healthcare insurance, you claim first through Zilveren Kruis. The one who has been appointed by the European Commission to handle claims from EHIC insurers, and keep all your receipts, invoices, and medical documents for your claim, because we will need it. A recap about the Aon Student Insurance. Well, who is it for? For international students who are doing an internship or are going to study in the Netherlands. What are the key benefits of having the Aon Student Insurance? Well, you have worldwide coverage. There's no BSN number required. You have a medical coverage, including pre-existing conditions. There's a psychological care is covered up until 3,000 euros per insurance year. There's a non-medical coverage like repatriation, liability, etc. We have a 24/7 emergency assistance number you can always contact in case of being admitted to the hospital, or in case you need to fly back home because of an emergency. The insurance is compliant with all Dutch visa regulations and Schengen regulations. It's not, however, valid for Swiss visa requirements because they have a totally different system. And what is very important to know, that this insurance, the Aon Student Insurance, is a private insurance, so it's not eligible for Dutch healthcare allowance. And if you would like to know more, or you have questions, you can always contact us. We are here from Monday to Friday from 8:30 till 5:30 European time, and you can call us by telephone. Well, of course, you can call us by telephone. You can send us an email, You can check our frequently asked questions section on the website, because that's very informative, and a lot of what you would like to know is down there. Or you can chat with us during office hours, and the chat is not a chatbot, it's an actual person, it's one of my colleagues. So that's also a very quick way of finding out or having an answer to your questions. And we are going to be at the welcome days, arrival days of several universities or universities of applied sciences. And yeah, I and my colleagues, because we will split the attendance, will be happy to see you and to inform you during the welcome days. And yeah, hope to see you there. And yeah, wish you lots of luck the coming year with your studies. And again, hope to see you then. Come and visit us. Last but not least, thank you. Again, have a great time in the Netherlands on behalf of Aon and all of my colleagues.